Supergirl hits theaters on June 26, 2026. It hasn't even come out yet. No reviews, no full scenes, and the internet is already cooking it alive. Here's the thing though. When you actually dig into why people are mad, most of it has almost nothing to do with the movie itself. So today, we're breaking down every major reason Supergirl is getting hate before release, why most of it is completely misplaced, and why this film might genuinely be one of DC's best shots at doing something special. Let's get into it. The biggest controversy right now isn't about the film, it's about what the lead actress said in press. Milly Alcock, who played young Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon, has been very candid in her interviews. She told Vanity Fair that simply existing as a woman in franchise spaces means people will always comment on your body and your choices. She called a lot of the online hate accounts Christian dads with burner profiles, and she said it's fine to piss off the right people. Now, some people are dunking on her appearance, questioning whether she's hot enough to play a superhero. Let's be completely clear, that is not film criticism. That is just being gross on the internet. This woman got the role because James Gunn, who has cast more superhero movies than almost anyone alive, called her casting the best casting decision I've ever made. The screenwriter said after all the auditions, Alcock was simply the obvious choice. You don't accidentally get that kind of endorsement. And here's the bigger point. Milly Alcock is a genuinely great actress. Her work in House of the Dragon wasn't just good for a young performer, it was the emotional backbone of that entire first season. The raw vulnerability, the controlled fury, that's exactly the energy this version of Kara Zor-El needs. Supergirl in this story is not a happy, sunny hero. She's a survivor who watched everyone she loved die. Alcock can do that in her sleep. Yes, some of her press comments created unnecessary noise, but don't let a PR moment erase the fact that the casting here is genuinely excellent. The second controversy has layers. Jason Momoa played Aquaman in Zack Snyder era of DC. That character was beloved by a lot of fans, and when Gunn rebooted everything, Momoa's Aquaman was effectively retired. The Snyder faithful were rightfully upset about that. They had invested years into that version of DC and felt it got pulled from under them. So when Momoa shows up in Supergirl as Lobo, the reaction was mixed. Some fans feel like DC is exploiting Momoa's popularity while throwing out the character they actually loved. But here's the thing, this might actually be the best possible outcome for Momoa himself. Lobo, the alien biker bounty hunter, is a chaotic, foul-mouthed, hyper-violent anti-hero who does not care about anyone. That is so much closer to Momoa's actual energy than Aquaman ever was. He's been chasing this role for years for a reason, and from the trailer, he looks absolutely unhinged in the best possible way. The argument that Momoa being in this movie is a bad thing is really an argument about grief over the SnyderVerse. Lobo is a fantastic character, Momoa is a fantastic fit, and if anything, his presence in Supergirl is one of the most exciting things about it. Don't let old frustrations rob you of what could be a genuinely fun performance. The third layer is the most legitimate criticism in the whole conversation, and James Gunn himself basically confirmed it when he described Supergirl as a space fantasy like Guardians in a way. The trailer doesn't help. World-weary lone hero drifting through space, retro music cues, a mismatched duo on a revenge quest, Supergirl in orange Walkman headphones, which is practically a Star-Lord costume note. People noticed, and they weren't wrong to notice. But here's the full picture. The source material, Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, is inherently a dark cosmic road trip, a brutal, emotional story about a young woman carrying impossible trauma across alien worlds. The tonal overlap with space adventure films was always going to happen. That's just what the genre looks like. More importantly, Guardians worked. It worked really well. The tone Gunn pioneered, irreverent, emotionally grounded, visually alive, is not some gimmick to be avoided. If Supergirl borrows the structure of that playbook, but fills it with a genuinely different emotional core, trauma, survival, a harder Kryptonian who did not have a warm childhood on Earth, then the comparison stops mattering the moment you're in the theater. And Craig Gillespie is directing this, not Gunn. This is the man who made I, Tonya, a film about a controversial woman misunderstood by the public, told with kinetic energy and real emotional complexity. That is almost a perfect template for what Supergirl needs to be. The last layer is the biggest and the least fair to this specific movie: superhero fatigue. After years of overstuffed Marvel phases and a DC universe that kept resetting, audiences have gotten more selective. Box office tracking for Supergirl has reportedly been sliding. The Marvels haunts every female-led superhero release now, fairly or not. And when studios see tracking drop, they get nervous and lean on familiar names, which is why Superman and Lobo are suddenly carrying a lot of the marketing weight for a movie literally called Supergirl. Here's what I'd say to that. The antidote to superhero fatigue is not avoiding superhero movies, it's making good ones. And the honest case for Supergirl is that it has the actual ingredients: a talented lead, a dark, grounded source story, a director with a proven track record for character work, a version of the character nobody has really seen on screen before. Gunn's Superman already proved the new DCU can silence doubters. Supergirl has every reason to do the same. So let's call it what it is. The hate Supergirl is getting right now is mostly pre-release noise built on things that have nothing to do with whether the film is good. Milly Alcock's interviews, Snyder fan frustration aimed at the wrong movie, surface-level trailer comparisons, general anxiety about the superhero genre. None of that is a review. None of that is criticism of what Craig Gillespie actually put on screen. What we do know is this: the casting is strong, the source material is excellent, the director has real range, and the version of Supergirl they're building, a hardcore, grief-hardened Kryptonian who did not have a warm childhood on Earth, is a genuinely fresh take on a character that's been underserved for decades. This movie has not earned its hate yet, and it might not earn it at all. June 26th. Be there. If you think Supergirl is getting a raw deal, drop a like and share this. Let's get a fair conversation going. And comment below.